Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be looking at something that was posted on the forums, and it basically, as the title says, free S-Class fighter event begins September the 6th. It's just an overview of what they hope to bring into the game, and there are two characters up for grabs. I'm just going to read through it. It says, "Greetings survivors. With the entrance of S-Class fighters into the game, you've likely seen that we've recently made efforts to improve the accessibility of powerful 5-star ascendables and 6-star fighters, examples being the token wheel updates and season store fighters. And we've also begun to make S-Class collectibles more accessible to players through various gameplay modes, examples war crates, raid tournament drop rates, roadmaps, free gifts. To keep that momentum going, we're excited to announce a new event that will give all players the ability to earn a new S-Class fighter." One thing I do want to mention here, that it says that they've made efforts to improve the accessibility of powerful 5-star ascendables and 6-star fighters, which I guess is true, but within 24 hours of making the token wheel update, obviously S-Class characters came out, so it was instantly just made kind of useless. And the season store fighters is debatable at how powerful these characters are. They are definitely not the most powerful generation 2 6-stars that could be given out. You know, the likes of Alice and the likes of Diego, who are definitely not top tier anymore, would have obviously been much more useful for the wider player base. However, let's move on. It says how it works. Beginning on September the 6th, through a combination of logging in and gameplay, players will be able to earn a new S-Class fighter. Every day, players will want to collect a new collectible item, gold bricks. Gold bricks can be earned via daily login, 5 bricks per daily login, daily roadmap, which requires world energy, it doesn't say how much, but world energy, which also gives 5 gold bricks. So every day, players can earn a total of 10 gold bricks simply by logging in and playing through the daily gold brick roadmap. Players will take those gold bricks and redeem them in the museum via 2 different collections. Collection 1, which has a limit of 1, requires only 10 bricks, so you can get that on day 1. The reward is an S-Class fighter box. The S-Class fighter box will allow players to choose one of 2 new S-Class fighters. This can only be redeemed once, so choose wisely. Collection 2, there is a limit of 22, requirement of gold bricks 40, rewards a knife. Knives are the unique item required to tier up your new S-Class fighter. The event allows players to redeem 22 knives, which is the total amount required to take the fighter to tier 4. And it says, yes, looking at the details above, this means that on day 1 of the event, all players will be able to collect a new S-Class fighter from the museum. Survivors Club exclusive, of course, there's going to be something. For those players in the Survivors Club, there will be a daily roadmap that grants an additional 4 gold bricks. This will aid in the collection of knives to accelerate their tier up process. So by the looks of things, people in the Survivors Club will be able to get the gold bricks faster to be able to get the knives faster, but everyone should be able to get the knives as long as they log in every day and do the daily roadmap. However, with it costing 10 to actually claim the character and 40 to claim the gold bricks, and you needing 22, this is looking like quite a long event indeed. We're looking at least 2.5 months, maybe longer. My maths is not great at this time in the morning. So there are 2 characters up for grabs, and I'll do a proper breakdown once these character dossiers have been released, but we'll just go through them. It says, S-Class fighters, once players have collected 10 gold bricks, they'll be able to choose one of the 2 following S-Class fighters. Crysta, and it says the displayed stats do not include veteran gear upgrades, so this is their base stats, and it says trait alert, roll damage, and she has 3,452 HP, 3,452 attack, and 3,884 defense. She's got quite low attack, if I'm honest, if she is a damage dealer, but her rush deals 750% damage to one enemy. 2 other characters get 50% slow and 100% heal reduction for 3 turns, so she has quite a lot of control in terms of, you know, the heal reduction is nice, and she does a lot of damage, 750% damage from an S-Class character, all kitted out, everything is going to do a lot of damage. Now it is an AP cost of 66 as well, so if you have AP weapons, she could potentially go off a little bit faster on an attack team if you have a command. The active skill she has is this character gets focused for 3 turns, up to 2 enemies get minus 40% defense for 2 turns. So nothing special there. Now she has got a specialist skill which is waste not. That means obviously that rush can kill 2 characters, not just one. There is a bit of a major downside with that specialist skill, obviously. If she was to waste not next to someone like a payback character, that single target damage, which before you're massively controlling, would now obviously potentially nuke half your team. The second character is called James, and his trait is strong, and his role is also damage, stats HP being 3,614, attack 3,776, and defense 3,398. His rush is attack 2 times for 250% to 1 enemy, up to 3 enemies get 600 bleed for 3 turns. This character gains plus 50 crit for 3 turns. The AP cost of this rush is 76. Obviously, he can do 2 separate attacks there, so could potentially kill 2 people. And his active skill is this character gets elusive for 3 turns and 40% AP. And I think generally speaking, that is quite a lot of AP gain, because normally it's 30 or 35%. He has got a specialist skill as well, and it is collateral damage too, so potentially he can do a lot of damage with that rush. And he also has a fixed weapon which has a better chance when above 50% max HP to gain 60 crit. Now I believe, if I remember rightly, when James was originally leaked, he did have a confuse weapon, but obviously these things can change. So both of these characters on paper look pretty decent. I'd have to see them like when they're fully released just to get a full feel for them. But potentially that Crysta could be a Telltale character, which I think a lot of us would be very, very happy to see. The last bit talks about tiering these characters up, and it says both Crysta and James require a unique item, knives, to tier up, which we read through before. And it says knife requirements at each evolution tier, 22 total knives required are tier 1 to tier 2, 3 knives, tier 2 to tier 3, 7 knives, and tier 3 to tier 4, 12 knives. If you are collecting 10 golden bricks a day, non-Survivors Club members, or 14 gold bricks a day, Survivors Club members, you'll be able to obtain knives at the following rate to tier up your new S-Class fighter. Non-Survivors Club members, it will take 88 days total to get your character to tier 4, and then obviously you have to level them up at that point to maxed out tier 4. So that's just under 3 months. Whereas if you are in the Survivors Club, it will take just over 2 months to get your character to tier 4 at 64 days. The last bit says, note there may be various limited time events, roadmaps, offers that may become available that reward gold bricks and or knives to aid in speeding up the tiering process. We hope you're as excited as we are for the upcoming event. Thank you for your support and please let us know your feedback. So obviously initially I think there's 2 things that you can really say from this. Something that I've been talking about recently is the initial gaining of a character that is S-Class is really, really hard. S-Class Pete, for instance, by the time we get him, it's going to be months away. Whereas these characters we're getting day 1 as S-Class, then we're tiering them up slowly with items in-game. This is a much better way of doing it. This is how it's done in other games. I play MSF, and that is a shard-based game. You can gain characters that cost 15 shards, and that can be, you can get that day 1 of any event. But to get it to 7 stars, it costs hundreds of shards. So it can take a very long time to max these characters out. I only have 1 maxed out character, I think, or 2 maxed out characters in MSF. One of them's the logging character, which you got 5 shards every day for logging in. And the other one's just a character that I thought was pretty good when I first started playing, which was Gamora. Now in Road to Survival, S-Class Pete is, you get 11,000 shards effectively, and then you've got the character, or you've not got him at all. I would not rush into making your choice. There's no rush, because obviously it's going to take a long time to get the other stuff to tier these characters up. But you will be able to get an S-Class fighter straight away. So anyone that took my advice in saving veteran rings for an S-Class fighter, you're going to be able to use them on this character. So if you did use your veteran rings elsewhere, I would say save at least 30 for this first S-Class fighter that you potentially will be getting. But I think this is a great way of doing things, giving the character early and then making the tiering up system the thing that pushes people to spend, or pushes people to, you know, try and get things faster, is a much better way of doing things. It's done like that in other games, in shard-based systems. A lot of the characters are very easily obtainable at the very base level, i.e. an S-Class character, but after that, getting them up to, you know, the next star rating or the next tier, that can take time, and that's basically the way to do it, is to get people in with the character, then take time to actually tier that character up and something that you can build with. So I'm looking forward to seeing this event in game, obviously the characters as well, very much looking forward to seeing how their art looks and that sort of thing. Do tell me what you think about the potential of getting a free S-Class fighter in this upcoming event, which starts September the 6th. This should have been the anniversary event, because the anniversary event was terrible, was absolutely terrible. And this would have been much nicer just to be able to give us an S-Class fighter for the anniversary event. I'm hoping that this is going to make up for what was a horrendous anniversary event, which I know that not a lot of people even claimed Sergio because they just weren't able to get the balloons because they were locked in via TOC rewards, which were 24-hour, 200k milestones, or just stupid one-day events like SR and Raid where you just have to do it on a weekday when people are working for most of the day and grind out an entire event in like the 3 or 4 hours you have free in the evening, which is kind of unreasonable. Terrible event, definitely lessons to be learned there. But I think this event could make up for it if it goes to the plan on how it's being said in this post, because so far there's nothing looking too bad here. But we'll have to see, the proof is definitely in the pancakes. I mean, the pudding, my bad. Well, and that's the end of my video, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.